Hello everyone. Hey, just waiting for some people to jump on. Good morning everyone. Hey Just Keisha, how are you? Hi CC Hill, how you guys? I'm in my basement doing cardio. Hi, good morning. And I'm doing good, Keisha. And hey Big Tickles. And I did not want to come down here today. I wasn't going to come down to do, I'm on my exercise bike, so if you see me looking like this, that's why. And I just decided to jump on Periscope and talk to you guys again, because I've done that a couple times. Hi, hey girl. And it's been inspiring to me. It's been motivating. It's helped the workout go quicker. So hopefully I can do this more. Oh hey, hi from London. Hi, how are you? Hopefully I can do this more regularly as a way to motivate. Hey, Love and Fitness. I'm doing my cardio. And I really just wanted to jump on and chit chat. I gave it a title because there was something on my mind, but really we can talk about whatever you want to, you guys. So excuse me. First of all, I have you guys on a tripod today. I don't know if you noticed. If you've been high on Bashir, I don't know if you noticed, but if you've been in my basement with me before working out on this machine, you've been kind of in my hand, but I have you on a tripod today. But it's like a new little rinky-dink tripod, and you're balancing on a stool. So I hope I have it set up so that you guys don't fall over. But if you do, I apologize in advance. I hope it works. My intention is to do 30 minutes on this machine, you guys, and I'm at 6 minutes right now. So yeah, let's chit chat. Okay, so the title of the scope was, what I put up? Are we being too hard on ourselves? That was the title of the scope. If I'm being 100% honest, I am not in the best mood right now. I'm not. I'm in a really crappy mood. Let's just put it that way. And yesterday was not the best day for me. There were tears involved, and there probably could be tears today too. Just none have fell. And you know, just processing a lot of stuff, just a lot of things going on. Some I've shared with you guys, some I haven't. And, you know, for the past few weeks or so, months actually, I've had this Periscope topic of, are we too hard on ourselves, going through my head. So the original catalyst for the topic actually came at the beginning of summer. So let me go back and just give you guys a little background, because I can't assume that everybody knows who I am and my story. Real quick, my name is Roshini. I blog and video blog online as Glamazini. I started out talking about hair and beauty, and I also now talk about health topics and being a parent, specifically a parent to a son with special needs. He's my only child. He's 4 years old. He was born with spina bifida, and he currently uses a wheelchair and has some other delays, and I'm his primary caretaker. I used to work in corporate America until about week 21 or 2 of my pregnancy, and then all hell broke loose. And I have been at home for 4 years. So that's kind of my backstory. And before my son, I used to speak a lot about mental health issues, specifically depression, because that's part of my, what is happening with this disrespectful strap? Anyway, so anywho, but then of course, you know, my son came along, and that just added to the challenging aspects of my story. So now back to, are we too hard on ourselves and summer. So you guys, as you know, I'm a digital entrepreneur. I'm a online professional. This was not something I started out trying to do. It was something that just happened around me. You're not in the best mood either, Bashir. Well, I pray that both of us will have the Spirit of God rest inside of us, and that our joy will return, because that is my prayer for me, and I will transfer that prayer to you. So I am a digital entrepreneur. I'm a digital professional. Not something that I set out to do, something that kind of just happened around me. I was just having a good old time journaling about my experience of transitioning from relaxed hair to natural hair and sharing stuff online, taking pictures of myself in public like this with a digital camera, and nobody knew what I was doing. Just, years ago, decade ago, just skipping along with my little website, before blogs, before Facebook, before all that. And all this stuff just kind of grew up around me. So, of course, I'm going to surround myself nowadays with people who are like-minded, who do the same thing. Lots of bloggers and vloggers, et cetera, et cetera. And, people really hit the ground running. I mean, this year I really told myself to push and try, because can't say that I have in the past. Well, I have, but you guys, life kind of came and kicked me in the face 4 years ago. So the ability to like grow my blog, get more page views, more audience interaction, all that kind of stuff went out the gate. Okay, because I was too busy taking care of a kid with a wheelchair and brain surgeries, right? So let's see, brain surgery, blog numbers. Okay, right? So this year I was like, I'm going to really try my hardest to just see what Glamazini as a brand could become. So I'm, with all these like-minded women in groups, and we're doing all these things and sharing all this information, and it's incredible. It's just mind-blowing, Clearly not my initial gift, but I'm willing to learn. Hi, 𝚑𝚑𝚗𝚘𝚗𝚑. And then summer comes around. So everybody's doing all this stuff, whatever. Summer comes around, you guys, and I see all these people in the groups talking about, oh, I can't, I'm going to take a break from my typical posting schedule so I can spend more time with my kids, or I'm not going to be able to do my typical, 3 videos a week and whatever, 10 social posts a week and 4 blog posts, whatever. And the reason they gave is because their kids would be out of school. So they would have to spend time with their children, or they would be distracted. It would be difficult to produce at the same level with their kids out of school. Now, this is going to seem really like, duh, Roshini, to some people, but listen, I need to put it out there, because it really did kind of like strike me that I was being a little too hard on myself. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, dang, all these people are tapping out of their regularly scheduled program for the summer months underneath the guise of it's difficult to produce at a certain level when you have your children at home with you. And they can't wait till the school year starts again, because then they're going to have all this free time and blah, blah, blah. And here I am, primary caretaker to a 4-year-old who is barely verbal, potential neurological delays that we have not identified as yet, unable to walk, right? Multiple therapy appointments, all out of the home at this point. No more in-home therapies. And I'm thinking that I'm supposed to be doing it all. So I'm running around like a chicken with her head cut off with my son in the home with me, having to do therapies, still having to spoon feed him, still having to take him to appointments, still having to put him in his standard, still having to do all of the extra things. Because when you have a child with special needs, it's like having a child, and then it's like having a special need experience. So it's like 2 entities. For example, my son is still in diapers, right? So for all the moms who are talking about, oh, my kid walks when he's like 1 or whatever, I'm so happy that they're out of, diapers. I saw somebody on the other day say potty training is the best birth control. And I was like, oh, for real? And then people come to me and they're like, you gonna have another one? And I was like, my son is still diaper voiding, so yeah. And so I was expecting myself to do things at a level in an environment where other people give themselves the grace to check out. Does that make sense? And so the question becomes, am I too hard on myself? And in turn, are you too hard on yourself? Are we too hard on ourselves sometimes? Are we putting expectations on ourselves that are unrealistic for any healthy-minded person to achieve in excellence? I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible for me to You guys got to tap the screen or something, because I see no hearts. Is anybody, am I helping anybody, or am I talking to myself? I see 11 little people down there by the ball. I appreciate y'all. I see the hearts now. Okay, yeah, y'all got to interact with me, because I feel like I'm just talking to myself. I'm like, is anybody, is y'all in there? Anyway, but the question is, are we too hard on ourselves? Am I too hard on, you know what, I'm not even going to say, am I too hard on myself? Hey 𝚑𝚑𝚗𝚍, I'm too hard on myself. I am. You see what I'm saying? Other people, not just one person, like a mass amount of women, taking a break because they know that it's unrealistic to expect them to produce content at this level because their children are in the home. They're verbal, able to feed themselves, potty trained. All right, you're driving, Mocha Melissa. Potty trained, able to walk, talk, go get their own snack. Children are in the home and they can't get the work done, so they just taking a break. And here I am thinking I'm about to do, you know, all the stuff I have to do with my son and produce at that level. And then being like, and all the negative self-talk. You are nothing short of amazing. Your strength amazes me. Oh, thank you so much, Keisha. That's so nice. That's nice to hear. Thank you. Listen, people ask me, I've had so many people email me and ask me how I do it. And in my head, I'm thinking, am I doing it? I have to tell my one friend who called me, her son has medical issues. She was unaware that my son had medical issues. We hadn't spoken to each other in like a good year and a half, maybe 2 years. So she, you know, we were really good friends. We just lost touch. We hit the ground running. She's talking to me. I promise y'all, she talked to me for like a good hour. I never once mentioned anything about Zion. She told me everything that was going on with her son. And y'all, I listened and I gave her information and I gave her advice. And she said to me, why you seem like you got such good advice for this? You're always so good at this. And I finally said, well, you know, Zion has medical problems. To which she was like, what? You know? So I finally shared with her. And when I tell you, she was like, I mean, she broke out crying, honestly, because she said to me, first of all, she felt bad because she was just going on and on about what was going on with her son. And in comparison to what was going on with Zion, you know, it wasn't as big. I mean, it was big. Everything's big to a mom, right? It's your child. And she cried because she was like, I didn't know all of that happened to you. And I feel like I'm a bad friend for not being there, whatever. And I was like, girl, please. I mean, it wasn't like I knew your son's information or his medical situation either. But you know what I told her? And I'm going to have to tell it to myself. Whew. She was like, how are you doing it? And you know, people ask me that all the time. They're like, how are you doing that? How are you even able to put up a video or a blog post or Instagram, something or the other? How? And she says she feels like she can't get it together. Or she can't do it. And I told her, I said, am I doing it? But then I told her, I said, you know, you guys, this is us doing it. Like this chaos that is around us. You can find if you're waiting for the chaos to stop, you don't keep waiting on that one. Okay? Because what happens is life is messy. And in the midst of the storm, you got to find some place in the midst of the storm. So, and all of these things, there's no manual to do this. You're right, Mocha Melissa. There's no manual to do this. And so, like I told her, and like I'm telling myself, you know, I'm too hard on myself. I'm too hard on myself. And I know where it comes from. I grew up in a perfectionist, I grew up being taught perfectionist ways. Let's put it that way. That's the easiest way I could say it, to protect the innocent. And, you know, I expect things to be at a certain level. And unfortunately, when you do that to somebody as a child, when they grow up, they quickly start to learn life is not going to hand you that level. You know what I mean? It's not going to, I shouldn't say hand you, but it's easier to have everything be at a perfectionist level when you're in the controlled environment of childhood, teenagerhood. But when you break out into the real world, it's going to be some stuff that's not to the level that you expect it to be. And so unfortunately, now I have to level set my expectation, you know, to not be like so hard on everything else, but so hard on myself. Because I have a, like, I don't even know what this Periscope is about, you guys. This is free therapy. Y'all just happen to be listening to me talk to myself. This is what's going on in my head. Okay? I have a for real child, a whole child, a 4-year-old that cannot walk right now. He has a wheelchair. Okay? Not only can he not walk, he has very limited torso innervation, meaning his inability to walk is affecting his legs, his hips, and 1/2 of his torso. So even his trunk is not stable. The problem with him walking is not necessarily his legs. Y'all listen, it's his core. That'll preach. Listen, I learned so much. So I have to do so much because he's off balance. You see what I'm saying? And he doesn't self-feed. There are plenty of children with spina bifida who are mentally, neurologically perfectly fine, self-feeding, chewing, everything. He has issue on top of issue on top of issue. Multiple issues mushed together. And then here I am expecting myself to keep up with people who have no children, or one child that they sent off to school 5 days a week. Or one chick was like, well, the babysitter is off during summer. What? You got a babysitter? That comes to the house. Babysitter that comes to the house so she can do what she's doing. And then I'm thinking, well, why am I? So anyway, are we too hard on ourselves? Yeah, sometimes we are. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have goals and we shouldn't have goals and things that we're trying to reach. But I think the blessing and the curse of social media is humanity has the ability to look into another person's life, a version of their life that they show you, and then we start comparing. It's just our natural state to start comparing ourselves. And we have to tell ourselves no. Okay? No. Because everybody's situation is not the same. And even if you had that person's exact same situation, they're not you. So you kind of have to do it. Give yourself more grace. Give yourself more grace for this journey. And I have to give myself more grace for the journey because you guys, like I said at the beginning, you expect yourself to be perfect while I give others the path. Exactly. But we don't give ourselves that grace. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I don't give other people that grace either. Hello. Can we be honest? Okay. I'm like, this perfectionism situation is serious up in these streets. Okay? You know, you gotta be, are we so hard on ourselves? It's like these voices. I don't want to say voices like actual voices. Nobody call a paddy wagon. I'm not hearing actual voices. But I'm saying we self-talk that was implanted in our minds from wherever. Mine came from an actual legitimate source who was attempting to help me be better. And it turned into a river, a constant station of negative self-talk in my head as to how I could do this better, how I could be better. I should do this, I should do that. I used to go to therapy, I don't go anymore. My therapist always said, stop shooting on yourself. Like S-H-O-U-L, what? Should? Yeah. Should, right? Stop shooting on yourself. He said it all the time. There's no such thing as you shoulda. You replace should with could in your vocabulary and see how it starts to unlock some of that stuff in your mind. You know, so like for example with me, oh, I should be blogging this amount of times. I should have up video. My video should be whatever. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I felt like I just spit on you guys. Sorry. You know. Stop doing that. Stop doing that to yourself because it's not conducive to you being your best you. And so the answer for me is, am I too hard on myself? Yeah. Can we be too hard on ourselves? Yes. Do we need to push ourselves? Yes. I'm not gonna sit here and condone not pushing yourself. But when you're pushing yourself into a space that's an unhealthy space or an unrealistic space, have realistic goals. I mean, bump them up a little bit if you tend to shoot low, but don't shoot for the stars and then when you don't hit the stars, beat yourself up. Celebrate the fact that you even shot for the stars. You know, I should be celebrating the fact that listen, my kid's still alive, okay? When I left that NICU, or the hospital the NICU, I have no experience with children, you guys. Zero. Had never changed a diaper, never babysat. I am not one of these little girls that wanted to grow up and be anybody's mommy. Honestly, I said I wasn't gonna have no kids, okay? And no experience. And when I left that NICU with that baby at 5 weeks old, literally being held together with glue and strings, okay? Glue and strings, and I'm not exaggerating, okay? He had the shunt, he had one surgery up here, glue and stitches, the failed surgery that they had to redo in the back, glue and stitches. He had the subclavian thing right here. There was one stitch underneath the thing. He had his whole back was wide open. They sent me home with it wide open, and I had to dress wounds for 4 months. I had to dress open wounds for 4 months, okay? And then they had two scars on the front from the, what do you call it? When they pull the, what's that thing called, you guys? The shunt. They pulled the drain down. The first one, they pulled it down. They had to redo the whole thing, pull it out, and put another scar. And the other scar kept opening on his stomach. That's who I came home with. Okay? A 5-week-old being held. Whew, I felt that thing come in my spirit. Help, God. A 5-week-old being held together with glue and stitches, and I had never even had a child. Okay? So the fact that he's still alive. 4 years in. 4 years, y'all. That sucker made it. I should be shundoing and celebrating all over this house, okay? Because, I mean, even my mother, when she left, my mother said to me, she didn't tell me back then because she knew. And listen, I didn't even tell y'all, I had to have a C-section I didn't want to have. The C-section did not heal properly. I'm not going to go into all my business. I was swollen for 4 weeks. Couldn't walk. For the first 4 weeks of my son's life, I was in a wheelchair being wheeled around. So much so that on the 5th week when I walked into the NICU, the nurses were like, oh my God, you're so tall. They were shocked because they had never really seen me. And then my C-section scar did not heal properly. I'm gonna just go there. Okay, so it was all bad. It was not good. Okay, so I should be just celebrating the fact that I'm sitting here on Periscope in my right mind, sort of, and, and the kid is alive. Okay, I should be celebrating that. If I get up one blog post, I should be celebrating. Like, instead of beating yourself up, look at what you have done. And you know what? I feel like just talking about that just now got me all excited. The celebration of the little wins, the big wins even. Forget little win, every win, little wins. The fact that I came down here and I'm even on this bike doing this. I'm at 26 minutes right now, so I'm almost near my goal to get 30 minutes in today. It's a big deal. You know why? Because my knee has really been bothering me, and I told myself I wasn't going to come down here. I've been coming out earlier during the week, and I was like, I'm not doing it. Ain't nobody here, ain't nobody gonna check me. Okay? I ain't told these Periscope people nothing. Okay? Y'all can't, even if I tell y'all I'm coming on every single day or 4 times a week or 5 times a week, y'all don't know where I live. What you gonna do? All you gonna do is tweet at me real mad. Girl, where you at? And I'm gonna be like, whatever. Listen, so the fact that I got up, hello, and came down here, put y'all on a little tripod, okay, got my bandana, I should be celebrating. Whew. Anyway, I done talked myself happy. Okay. So anyway, you guys, like I said, my mood is off. It might not seem that way. I know it's hard sometimes to translate when my mood is off, because real talk, you guys, I'm gonna switch subjects real quick. When my mood is real off, like, I want the people who really feel like there's no reason to understand that I understand what you feel like. It's just I don't jump on camera. And when I feel that way, or when I do jump on camera, something kicks in and it might not seem that way. But when I tell you the battlefield of the mind, that's why, you know, people have said to me, have you, somebody asked me once, do I regret putting anything on the internet? Not yet. I mean, I'm trying to find the thing I regret. I don't. You know why? Because I'm helping somebody. I'm helping somebody because I've sat on many a person's video or many a person's Facebook Live or many a person's whatever and ain't said nail word to them, ain't said nail word. Okay, and when I tell you that person saved my life that day, I didn't give them one heart, I didn't give them one comment, okay? I didn't tell them nothing. But when I tell you that person snatched me up that day, okay, when I was about to go play in traffic, and they said just the right thing, because there's so many of us out here being pretty and cute. And listen, I love to be pretty and cute with the best of them. Y'all know. I already told y'all when I go on this cruise, the plan is to flex on these hoes. Okay? That's the point. But just because I'm trying to be beautiful on the inside, and when people out here showing you all this perfected, highlighted, filtered life, and I'm at home crying into my glass of wine, contoured, you know what I'm saying? Life is contoured. They just showing you the highlights. Okay, that'll preach. Their life is contoured, highlight on fleek. They don't show you none. They don't show you none of the bad stuff. Dressed up from the top, and then we go and we bump ourselves up against their contoured, filtered, white balanced ISO life. I can't. I mean, maybe I would be doing better numbers wise if I would, but I can't. It's just not. So I mean, you know, there's plenty of supply of that. So I like to look at beautiful things just like the rest of us. So listen, that's not for me. I gotta get on here and say what's really going on. And listen, let me tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the real deal, Holyfield. I don't tell y'all. I already told y'all. If people think this is a lot, I'm team tell some, keep some. If I told you, you wouldn't believe me anyway. You wouldn't believe me anyway. Ooh, 30. 30 minutes. I did it. I'm kind of sweating. There's sweat. I keep wiping it. There's sweat up there. Listen, y'all, I don't know if this cardio is really doing as much as it could be because I haven't been consistent with my actual, like, weight, you know, resistance workouts as much as I've been resistant with the cardio. But, you know, my eating is great. My cardio is good. My resistance and body resistance, weight workout, you guys can't see that, but this red thing is actually the bottom of the weight benches, and our weights are right there. I haven't been as consistent as I have been in the past, and I could be. So unfortunately, I'm still pedaling, by the way. I'm not going to be as fantabulous as I was hoping to be for the cruise, but like I said to you guys, and the whole point of this Periscope is I'm not going to be that hard on myself, okay? I'm 40. I made it. I'm going on a cruise. Okay, like I said, kids still alive. This stay-at-home mom job is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. This caretaker situation is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm still producing online content when I really should have just disappeared. Like, real talk. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. So I'm going to try to celebrate my wins. I'm going to try to celebrate my wins. You'll be 40 next month. Well, happy pre-birthday to you. Happy pre-birthday. I'm going to try to give myself the same grace I offer to others. I'm going to celebrate my wins today. I'm going to look for wins to celebrate. That's what I'm going to do. Now, stop being so hard on myself. And, you know, if I make a goal for something and I don't reach it today, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not gonna let the enemy come in my head and start talking foolishness. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just tell myself tomorrow is a new day. Mercy new every morning. Great is his faithfulness, and I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Okay? And if it doesn't happen tomorrow, I'm gonna just be like, girl, let's get it together. I might jump on Periscope and tell y'all I'm gonna do it so I can have some accountability, and then y'all could tweet at me y'all angry if y'all don't see it somewhere online. So anyway, I appreciate that, this one woman. I'm glad that my rambling helped. I don't know if I'm going to keep this Periscope up. I need to go upstairs and take a shower now because I have to get the child. They're going to drop him off at the house. So anywho, you guys, hope you guys have a good rest of your morning, or it might be afternoon for some people at this point. Going upstairs to go jump in this shower. Thanks for keeping me company. Have a great day, you guys. Remember, celebrate your wins. Give yourself grace today. Give yourself grace. And you know what? I pray that God's joy floods everybody on this Periscope today. because I know I need it. I'm not in a joyful place. I'm not, you guys. So if you want to pray, remember what I tell you. Stretch your hands toward the center of the country. And I pray that the same joy that will flood me will flood you guys as well. Amen. All right. Bye, you guys. Thanks for talking to me. Be encouraged. Bye, y'all.